Okay, so as you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about CSGOLOTTO, Trevor Martin, Tom Castle, Trevor Martin being TMARTN on YouTube, and Tom Castle being Pro Syndicate on YouTube, if you didn't know. And the story that broke within the last week about them and their really shady dealings with what they've done. Now, if you don't know the story is Trevor Martin and Tom Castle, both like a lot of other people during CSGOLOTTO's short inception, I guess, short run. They haven't been, the company hasn't been going for that long. Have made videos on gambling on their site and showing these big reactions and big wins, like, oh, I won $13,000 betting on this so-and-so site. Well, so-and-so site being CSGOLOTTO. Now, a lot of people have done it. If you don't know what CSGOLOTTO is or what skins betting is, Counter-Strike skins are a thing you can get in the game. They have a monetary value to them, and because they have a monetary value to them, people have exploited that for betting and gambling sites, CSGOLOTTO being one of them. Now, the thing that makes this a problem with these gentlemen posting videos about it is that in none of the videos did they disclose that they were both part owners of the company. Trevor Martin being president and Tom Castle being vice president of the company. And on top of that, Trevor Martin being, I'm not sure what the actual, I'm not sure what the actual title is, but I'm going to call him the filing agent. It's the person who files, they're called an agent. They file the paperwork to be a company, or to be claimed as an actual incorporated company in their state. And the company can't actually become a company without it. And he is the one who filed it, which means he is the literal owner or part owner from day one. So, the reason I say it like that is because Trevor Martin's first video, he literally lied to everybody. Like, anybody who's a subscriber. I'm not a subscriber. I didn't even see the video until I saw a video about this. He out and out lied to all his subscribers, saying that they found him and they wanted to do a sponsorship with him, acting like they were a different entity than he is, even though he owns it, which is an out and out lie. Why he would do that, I don't know. You can have all the implications you want. The implications being that you wouldn't disclose that you own that kind of company, because then you couldn't rig the system to give you wins on the gambling site, to give you better videos, and more subscribers and more views. Those are the implications. Those are not facts. Please do not take them as me saying that those are facts. It's not true. Those are just implications of why you wouldn't disclose it. They could have rigged it. They could not have rigged it. I do not know. No one does besides them. And maybe some select other people that they told are, part of the company, whatever. What is a fact is that since they didn't disclose it, the Federal Trade Commission, I'd imagine, is going to maybe levy some fines against them, because what they did was completely non-compliant with their guidelines. Their guidelines stating that you have to have a clear and concise representation of what you're endorsing. And being the owner of a company, you're 100% endorsing that product if you make a video on it. It's the same thing of any YouTube person, any YouTube gamer that does a sponsored video for any game company, like a lot of them do it for Ubisoft. You see that a lot. When they say that they're disclosing it ahead of time, they say, oh, this is a sponsored video. That's what they're doing. They're disclosing it. But they also have to say, and if you didn't know this, because I didn't know this, these people also have to say if they're getting paid, because just getting a first look at a game or a sneak peek at a game isn't enough if you're also getting paid by the game. You don't have to tell people how much you're getting paid by the game, but you do have to state you're getting paid also on top of getting a sneak peek or a free copy of a game or anything like that for whatever sponsorship you're doing. But anyways, that's besides the point. Since they're definitely being sponsored and definitely being endorsed by a company that they own and they didn't disclose anything, that makes them non-compliant. Now, depending on what the Federal Trade Commission says about it, they could easily get an not easily, but they could get up to an $11,000 fine per incident, which means per incident means per video. So for every video that they did that they didn't disclose it, which is every single one until now at least, they can get fined up to $11,000 per video. That's a lot. But if you do the crime, you do the time. That's just simple facts. Regardless of whether you had, you didn't have intentions to defraud anybody, you didn't have intentions to screw over anybody, you didn't have intentions to mess with anybody. You could have all the right intentions. It doesn't matter. If you do the wrong things and you make mistakes, you have to live with the consequences that you get. That's just how life works. You can believe that if me or other smaller YouTubers had the opportunity to do anything sponsored and we didn't disclose it, you can damn sure believe there'd be consequences. So I'm really, really hoping to see consequences for these guys. Now, Tom Castle may not be as bad because he did state in his first video that he was sponsored by them. It's true and not true because yes, he's sponsored by them, but when you're part owner, you're automatically sponsored by them. It doesn't make any sense. That's like a basketball player saying he's sponsored by Reebok, but he owns a stake in the company. Of course he's sponsored by them. When you own a stake in something, you're sponsored by them automatically. So those are the basic facts of what has happened. Now, as far as my opinion goes, I don't think that these guys should be, chastised for this completely. Should they be criticized for it? Absolutely. If you want to defend them, go ahead. That's fine. Defending them is your prerogative. I'm never going to take it away from you. But this is not the worst thing anybody's ever done. In fact, I guarantee you they're not the first guys to do that. But they did lie. They are still, as far as I know, acting almost like it's not a big deal. Acting almost like just an apology is good enough, which it's not. This isn't just one of those things where it's like, oh, I kicked over your drink. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to move on. No, it's not good enough. You can't just apologize for doing something like this. What you did was wrong on so many levels. But it doesn't mean that their YouTube career should be over. It doesn't mean that they should never earn any money in this space again. It doesn't mean that they're so bad that you shouldn't trust them ever again. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that they could be completely great people. They just made a really bad decision and a really bad mistake, and they deserve to live with it. I was angry. I was very angry when I learned of this. And I would like to give credit to, realistically, I saw the news on Twitter from a post, and then I looked into it further. So I'd like to give credit to H3H3 Productions, and they gave credit to another YouTuber named Honor the Call. who both went into, who both were the ones that did the actual investigating work to find out all this information. Now, what those two didn't do is they didn't, in their description, link to show you the documents stating that TMARTN is the president, this guy's the vice president. They just show you it in their video. I'll give you a link to those documents so you can see them for yourselves. But this is just one of those things that I think it gives certain people a really bad name. You know, I'm not a big YouTuber, but I can see how other big YouTubers would be, you know, could be kind of mad about this because it's going to give them a bad name. It's just one of those things that it's hard to talk about because you're so mad, and then, you know, you take time to think about it, and you take time to realize, you know, it takes time to realize what's actually going on, and that, you know, they're young, they made a mistake. I've said that before. So basically, just to close things out, these guys shouldn't necessarily be, like, this shouldn't be like a black sheep or whatever, black mark on the record that follows them for, you know, years and years and years. They made a mistake. They're gonna live with the consequences, I hope. If they don't, it's gonna be that would be a whole nother can of worms if they don't get what they deserve. You better believe that if it was anybody else, like even me or smaller people, that we'd get what we deserve. So I hope they do, and I hope they learn something. I want them to learn something from their mistake. I want them to understand that an apology is not good enough. I want them to understand that you have to accept responsibility for something you do wrong, whether you meant to do it or not. It doesn't matter if you meant to do something or not. You still did something wrong. Makes no difference. And I want, you know, these guys are young. I want them to understand that. I want other people to understand that too. So realistically, that's a stupid way to say that, sorry. That's really all I have to say about that. I really thought that this video was going to go differently. I thought I was going to, like, come out swinging and, you know, give him a 1-2 punch, maybe a little knockout by being all pissed off and angry, but I'm really not angry anymore. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just, I'm more so hopeful. I'm more so hopeful that people in the YouTube community or any other kind of community will learn from this and will see what happened and learn from the mistakes of these young gentlemen that did what they did. And hopefully, and I'm hopeful that they're going to learn and realize what they did. So, if you like the video, please leave a like. And I hope you like these videos that I've been doing with the commentaries about, you know, social issues. Or so maybe. I like doing them. It's really fun to, like, voice your opinion and you know, maybe even get things off your chest that you want to talk about. And doing it this way means that people can listen, hopefully get in on the conversation, you know, leave comments below. And if nothing else, if it doesn't, you know, instill any changes in anything of actual importance, then maybe it'll at least make us feel a little bit better about life in general. So I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you and bye-bye.